The beauty of memory is it can preserve time. Preserve it like a painting or a work of classic literature. Every time you go back, it has a new meaning. It has changed because you've changed, and you understand it more. I'd like to use my memory to bring back Bricktown, the Bricktown of my youth. The old Laurelton Drive-In movie theater is now a Walmart. The old Circle Cinema is now an IHOP. The old Lowe's Theaters, which used to be Music Makers, is now Harbor Freight Tools. The old Laurelton Circle. That's even before I knew it. Before those days in the 1970s when my dad was driving around in his red Monte Carlo, hitting the steering wheel and complaining about being stuck in traffic to get to the other side of town. In town was also Gino's, which later became Roy Rogers and now is currently a bank. People will pass St. Dominic's in their car one day and not know what it was like to see the school gym converted into a theater before the days of its parish center. Famous Dave's Barbecue is now Monera's. Kmart was the Big K, and now it's the At-Home Store. And Pathmark, after 7 years, is now Levati's. A bunch of little changes here and there add up to big changes. When I was a kid in the mid to late 70s into the 80s, when school was closed because of snow and St. Dominic's didn't have its parish center, we would all take our sleds and go to Kmart Hill, which was a hill filled with snow and very steep right behind Kmart. And at the time, those trees that you see behind me were growing, so you'd have quite a bumpy ride on the roots. Now it would be near to impossible, but it still stands, though it can't be used, especially the way it once was. In that same plaza, Finn's has been closed for years, but used to be the Rustler, then the Sizzler, then a Chinese restaurant, then an Italian restaurant. Look, things change, and it's the nature of life. I know my father is no longer here, nor is his red Monte Carlo, or even the Laurelton Circle he would complain about the traffic on. Change is inevitable. It's both good and bad, and a necessary part of life. I'll never forget who I was, and what those places meant to me, and how I felt when they were gone. I'll never forget my father's wisdom and kindness, and that this town was where he lived, and where I first learned to dream.